Hey guys, today my big chore is to chop back this Miscanthus grass. Now this is a very tall grass. It's taller than me, maybe 6 feet tall, and as you can see it's a very vigorous grower. Many states consider it an invasive, but I love to have it in the garden. I love how it looks. I really only do this type of maintenance once a year. Maybe a little trimming here or there if it gets out of hand. But really, I only trim it back once a year, and I've started doing it in the spring so I can enjoy all of its foliage throughout the winter. I think it offers really nice winter structure. So the first thing I do is I just chop off the top part. Then I go ahead and I step on what's left in the base, and that removes all of the woody stalks. So I'm going to show you that as I do it. Late winter is a lot about cleanup and preparation. So this would be a good time to do it because starting this month is when new shoots will be coming out of the base. And of course it's going to do a lot better without all of the old growth. So let's get started on that. I did want to show you I cut it back over here, and I used a lot of it as mulch here and behind it. It's a very muddy, pondy area behind here. It gathers a lot of water. It's a low point in my yard. So I ended up putting a lot of it back there and a lot of it on my big homemade raised bed. So I find it is a very useful mulch. So it just rained yesterday quite a bit. So this is going to be a little bit damp. And that's kind of preferable because when this is fresh growth, it's actually very sharp along the edges. So I am going to wear some gloves and long sleeves, but when it's damp, it's even softer. So that's really an ideal time for me to chop this back. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go right down about a foot above the ground. Just going to start chopping. This is my biggest one back here. And just a lot of this is dead, but once you get to the bottom, there's a lot of new growth that you can see. Now we have to clean out the crown of the plant, get out all of the dead wood, all of the dead sticks, and open up some area for the new spring grasses to grow up through. And it's going to result in a much healthier stand of Miscanthus grass. So I know it looks brutal, but the first thing I do is to step on it and break all of the old stalks. And that's going to make it easier for me to rake through it with my fingers and pull out that dead wood. And guys, this is a tough plant. You can't kill it. I don't think I would step on any other plants of mine, but this will clean it out of all the old dead grasses. And it gets quite woody in there. And if you don't clean out the crown of the plant with the older dead grasses, you could end up with like a bald area in the middle, and it could be growing outward along the edge, and we definitely don't want that undesirable effect. The other, I'm doing this in early March because we do get lots of birds that nest in this box that are right next to the grasses, and I'm trying to do it before anybody moves in. So let me continue doing this. Then I'll take my fingers, my gloved fingers, and rake through it and pull out even more of the dead Miscanthus grass stalks. And this is a good thing to do in garden boots because it can be quite sharp. Miscanthus can be quite sharp, and you don't want to get hurt, splintered. Make sure you have glasses too while you're working on this. Either safety glasses, or if you wear glasses, that always helps. But if you hear that cracking, that means I'm breaking all the old dead stalks, and I'm going all over the whole plant. It's really going to help me clean it out, keep this plant healthy and looking gorgeous. And all these dead stalks can then come out and mulch the area behind it where I would otherwise get weeds. And my property's so big, I really try not to use bagged mulch. I try to use natural resources right from the property. Getting out lots of dead from over here. And by thinning this, you're assuring that that brand new growth that'll be coming up is going to be able to push through and get the light it needs to grow really nice and strong. So I'm going to spend a lot of time on this thinning process, taking out the dead and making way for that new spring growth, which in the next month or two is really going to take off. And I'm able to remove big chunks of old wood. Okay, it was a lot of work, but I have gone through, I've stepped on it, and I've broken off all the dead wood. I've combed through it with my fingers, and I've really cleaned out the crown. And now the fresh new growth will be able to come through. It has room. It also has light and air to grow. So it's really important that you take these steps in the spring to make sure that you get some nice, beautiful, fresh, healthy new growth on your Miscanthus. Okay guys, the tall Miscanthus grasses have been chopped and thinned, and in pretty short order we should be seeing some beautiful new healthy grasses coming up as the weather warms. And as you can see, I really opened up the root crown to get some air and light and make room for that new beautiful growth. So that's it guys. I've spent about an hour on this project. Now I have to find a spot for all of this. But you know, these are pretty maintenance free. After you chop them up, that's about all I do in a year. These just grow up beautifully on their own. They tolerate heat, wet roots. I mean, they're very easy. In fact, so easy that they are considered invasive, but they're really the perfect plant for this spot in my yard. So guys, I hope that helped you a little bit, learning about Miscanthus care and how I do it, and hopefully I'll get to show you the results in a couple of months. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you're having fun in your late winter gardens. Doing a lot of cleanup and prep.